It's 6 a.m. I just finished my morning cardio. I'm training back and forearms later this afternoon. And, this morning it was just another one of those mornings where I woke up and I didn't feel like it. I didn't have that overwhelming determination. I didn't have that, wow, I'm so blessed feeling. I just didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to get out of bed at all. But I woke up. As soon as my alarm went off, I got up out of bed. Doesn't matter. It does not matter how I feel, because I'm in control of my reality. I don't care if I felt like I didn't get enough sleep. I don't care if I felt like, wow, I've got so much to do today. I feel like this is a insurmountable obstacle. It does not matter. I have stuff to do. Therefore, I will get up at 4:30, as I always do every single solitary day, Monday through Sunday. Without fail, I wake up at 4:30 a.m. And, I start my morning routine. I instantly start making my bed. Then I drink my 32 ounces of lemon and salt water. That really helps with my just ramping up my metabolism, and it just hydrates me to start the day. Then I sit down and I start to cross off my checklist. I write a page in my journal, go outside. I do my 50 morning push-ups. It was like 25 degrees outside. I don't care. I still have to do my push-ups every single morning. Came back inside and I got in the cold shower. Now, this is when I started thinking to myself, this sucks. This is so bad because I've got to get in the freezing cold shower, and it might be easy for some of you guys. I hate it. Some mornings I just jump in there, but most mornings it is the very last thing I want to do. But I took a deep breath and I was like, how blessed am I? This has been the most helpful frame of mind, instead of like, damn, I have to do that. Like, I'm damning the situation right there, because your words have extreme power. Your words are the physical manifestation of the spiritual realm, and they have physical power. So, wow, what a blessing it is that I get to get under this freezing cold shower, and I have the opportunity to go to the gym. I have the health to go to the gym. I have the means to wake up and own my own business and provide for myself. How blessed am I? I get to do these things. Freezing cold shower, got out, put on my clothes, head to the gym. Do my cardio, everything. Usually I'm in just an insanely elevated state even on the way. It wasn't like that today. I finished my cardio. I feel better. But I was on the Stairmaster today because I did the treadmill yesterday. And I'm thinking to myself, what if I wouldn't have 2 years ago made the decision that I was going to try and start my own business? What if I would have listened to what everybody said? What if I would have listened to all the outside pressures, the people at school, and I would have stayed in the box that everybody wanted to put me in, okay? What if I would have cared what other people who didn't actually care about me thought about my future, and let them decide what I was going to do and where I was going to go? Where would I be right now? Most people, they do not set out to accomplish things. They don't go and start a business or start a YouTube channel or, start posting on Instagram, start a blog, start a newsletter, whatever it might be. They don't start going to the gym. They don't start working out. They don't, set out to go run a marathon. You know why they don't set these goals? You might set goals, but you know why they don't actually see them through? Because they're worried about what other people think. You are worried about what other people think. You're scared that they might see you try and then fail. And if you're worried about what they'll think if you try and then fail, imagine what they'll think if you don't even try it at all. Imagine what they'll think. Guess what? They won't. They're not thinking about you at all. They won't think about you. If you think that you are the center of everyone's attention all day long, they're watching you pursue your goals and what you're doing, but you haven't even accomplished anything yet. Dude, I was a loser to my standards now when I went to start my business. But, oh my God, it got in my head what people thought. I was just sitting there with this big old self-esteem thinking they're watching my every move. They're watching me do this. They're watching me do that. I was posting things and deleting them because I was like, oh, people are looking at this. Nobody was looking at that shit. And the people that were looking at it and talking about it, it was just because I made them insecure, because the person that they wanted to hold me down as, they wanted to keep me in this box. And I started to break out of the box, and it made them reflect on themselves and realize that they didn't want to develop the discipline, and they didn't want to put in the work to chase their goals. And they're like, let me talk shit because this makes me insecure. And that's the same thing that's happening to you. Do you think people are wasting their precious time thinking about your loser ass all day? No, they're not. And if you're going to let that stop you from what you could have become, you're going to let people who won't even show up to your funeral dictate the decisions you make in your life. And you're going to live based on how they want you to live and not how you want to live on the inside. The desire that you have to accomplish great things, whatever your measure of a successful life is, whether that be financially, mentally, physically, experience-wise, whether you want to travel the world with a beautiful woman that you love, whether you want to just have a fruitful family and serve as many people as you can, however you define success, there are actionable steps that it takes to get there. And the way that you're living right now, just drifting, just going with the flow, you are not going to end up where you want. A ship with no destination, it might get somewhere, but 99% of the time, it's not going to be where it set out to go. You're just drifting. You might end up at some random island completely. How did I get here? You've strayed so far away from the path of where you wanted to go because you did not set a course and follow that course to the T. That's what you have to do with your life. No one is watching you. And when you start to get people watching you, watching what you're doing, commenting on what you're doing, talking shit about what you're doing, that's another reinforcement that you are headed in the right direction. No one talks shit about people that are no one in a better position than you is going to talk shit down to you. Ever. If you're starting a business, you ever seen a very successful business owner talk shit about someone who's starting a business? No. In the gym, you think that the biggest, like, even the roided out lifters, the people that have been lifting for 15 years, the people with a ton of experience, they have respect for the game. You think they're going to hate on little Jimmy who's in the gym actually putting in work and trying his hardest? Not at all. They're going to be the nicest to him. You only get hate. People only hate the great. They see something in you that makes them think in themselves, man, why am I not motivated enough to make those changes? Why won't I develop the discipline to put in that work? And so they try to take away from you because you reflect on what they are lacking. When I started my business, I was a degenerate, but I was extremely popular at school. I was one of the most popular kids at school. And I became the kid that sat outside on the benches during lunch where the weird kids sat, so I could read my self-development books or my books about business and eat my meal prep by myself. I started to carry myself in a completely different way. I made a 360 with my life, and it made people uncomfortable because they would talk to me, and when I sounded and acted different and carried myself differently, they wanted to try and put me back in that box. They're like, oh no, you're this guy. No, I'm not. It made people uncomfortable. So people started to invest in what I was doing more because they wanted to see me fail. I don't care. 99% of those people are all at college, drinking themselves fucking silly, getting fat. Half of them are like a few years older than me. I'm doing way better than they are. I profited. I took home $5,000 from my business in the last 30 days, and I graduated from high school 6 months ago. But I ate shit to get here. I ate shit to get here, and it will keep growing. It will keep growing, but I ate shit to get here. My first business that I started made no money. I was 18 years old, losing a few $1,000s a month trying to run a Shopify store with a product that I was hand creating. A product that, I'm going to tell a story about this in another video, but I literally was hand creating a product that I knew nothing about, and it did not reflect my personality at all. And I was getting made fun of hella for it. Because people thought that I was starting this business because I just had some weird obsession with the product. I just thought it was a good avatar, a good vessel to get me where I wanted to go. It wasn't, but oh my gosh, I learned so much. I learned so much. But if I would have cared what those people said about me, sending the ads that I would make, people sending them around, commenting on them, people being like, this motherfucker got so weird, I was learning. I was learning. I was taking feedback. I was writing down. I have like 600 days worth of journals and pages and notes and feedback. I have not taken any steps backwards since I started. In the micro, I've had days where I failed, I messed up, I made mistakes, obviously. But in the macro, it's just been big ass jumps towards success. And I will keep getting better. Because I don't care what people think of me. It's completely fine, and it is probably extremely valuable to care about the opinion of family and loved ones who actually want what's best for you. But that by no means is me saying that you have to take that into account. Just because your parents are telling you that you can't start a business and make money, just because that your parents are telling you that you have to go to college, take what they say and think about it, meditate on it, think about in your head, are they just saying this because they know that my whole entire life I haven't worked hard at anything? Or are they just saying this because they don't understand the concepts as well as I do? They haven't studied it the way that I have, and they don't have a conviction that I will be successful the way I have. So let me show them. If people that love you and care about you are saying something, think about it. Weigh the options and see if what they're saying truly has meaning and has value. But the people, your peers at school, the people that don't actually know who you are and what you think about and what you go through on a daily basis, if you give a fuck about what they say on Instagram or what they comment on your YouTube channel, what losers? I saw there was this kid that goes to the high school that I was at. And the only reason I know is because the name sounded familiar somehow. I have never, ever thought about this kid in my life. And he's leaving comments on my YouTube video, and I'm just sitting there laughing like, what a dumbass loser. What a retard you are. Sitting there like, oh, John Mark. Thinking about me, bro. I've never thought about you in my life. That just goes to show. And he's commenting like, you have no, you're a high school dropout. I didn't drop, I finished high school. I just didn't go to college because I knew I was going to make money from a business. I knew I was going to be a business owner. I decided when I was like 11 that I wasn't going to go to college. I knew that I was going to do this. I didn't know how until I started taking action towards it, but I knew that I was going to do this. But if these people that have your name in their mouth are going to be the ones that are like, bro, remember me? Remember me from high school? They're just pissed that they can't conceptualize a vision and lay out a plan and execute it no matter what problem they face, no matter what problem you face. It pisses them off that they aren't willing to make the sacrifices that you are. Stop caring what other people think. It doesn't matter. The most successful people in the world, I'm going to use somebody that maybe some of you guys might know just as a reference because he's super big. He's very successful right now and he's doing really, really good on YouTube. So some of you guys might know him. That's why I'm going to use him as a reference. Alex Hormozi. That motherfucker's smart. That man is a genius. That man makes hundreds of millions of dollars. And you still see lame ass losers in the comments trying to be like, you have no idea what you're talking about. The more successful you become, the more people will start to hate on you. They are literally just trying to feel the satisfaction that they got in your head. If you are sitting there caring what other people think, and you can't get over that, if you can't get over that tiny little problem, that tiny little roadblock, you got other things to worry about. Because that is the most pointless, meaningless thing ever. The only reason you care is because your ego is so high that you're not willing to fail in public. I've failed so many times in public. That's why I've gained so much wisdom. In the scheme of things, I know nothing. I know nothing. I pray every single night, Lord, give me the wisdom to decipher truth from evil. I need wisdom. I started to gain wisdom when I started to search for it with my whole heart. Wisdom is knowledge plus experience. And I'll never speak on something that I don't know anything about. And I'll never act like I cannot be wrong. I find out that I'm wrong every single day. But keeping that frame of mind is what helps me acquire more knowledge and acquire more wisdom. And the more repetitions I have on a subject, the more times that I can apply experience to that subject. And I'm like, okay, last time I did X and Y happened. I did X again and Y happened again. I don't want Y to happen. Let me do A. Oh, the desired outcome happened. So I know in my head, this route does not work. This route does not work. This route does work. You have to fail to acquire that knowledge. You can learn from other people. And the highest form of intelligence is how quickly someone can accept they're wrong and then try again. In simple terms, how fast can you realize that your thinking is flawed, pivot to the right way of thinking in any certain area. So if you're not willing to do that on display in front of other people, you're not going to accomplish much in life. And you're going to sit in your bed every single night and have the grief and the regret that you weren't willing to fail a couple times in the micro because you were scared of what people would think, what people that you were probably not going to spend the rest of your life with, people whose opinions do not matter at all. You were scared because of those opinions, and you didn't go after what was yours. You didn't go after what was yours. I'm gonna tell you guys a story real fast. And I forget where I heard this story, but it was just a beautiful perspective. And if you've heard it, it's been told better than this, but you know, I'm just gonna say it quickly. So there was a kid who, he grew up and he loved studying like world wars. He loved studying army generals. He read books, all these things. And but growing up, the circumstances happened and it kept him from enlisting in the war. A bunch of recruiters from the army came. All these people came to his house, but throughout his whole entire life, he never decided to join the army. And but he was just infatuated with the history of war, with the strategies of battle. And when he died, he got to heaven, and he was talking to God, and he said, God, can you tell me, like, who was the greatest general that ever lived? Who was the greatest general that ever lived on earth? And God looked at him, and he just kind of laughed. And this is a fictional story, I'm pretty sure, obviously. And he was like, "You dummy." And he's like, "Me? What are you talking about?" And he was like, "You." He's like, "But I never enlisted in the army." And he was like, "That's the point. I sent 18 recruiters to your house. Those were your angels. Those were your signs. But you listened to the circumstance. You listened to the noise that didn't matter. You were supposed to become the greatest general that ever lived." How would that feel if all of your dreams and the feeling that you have inside of you of what you are supposed to become, how would it feel if you knew that you wasted all of that because you were worried about what some dumb-ass people that don't care about you thought? How would you feel? Something I want you guys to think about. It's something I want you guys to think about because, you know, sitting here right now, as I said, the last 30 days, my business has done, you know, pretty good for a 19-year-old. I'm about to move out into my apartment, and my goal was to, you know, I graduated in May of 2023, so like literally less than 6 months ago, and I could have instantly moved out, but there was really no point. I've been helping my parents and my family a lot, as much as I can. But I'm moving out in January once the apartment that I want is vacant, and so that's basically just what I'm waiting on. And to think that if this is something I've wanted for a long time, is just like my own space. You know, I'm just saving as much money as I can, working as hard as I can. I don't buy anything for myself. I don't need anything now, because I know that once I've reached my goals, I can buy myself a couple things. But I'm not materialistic. I'm an experienced person, and I want to serve others. That is what fires me up and gets me out of bed in the morning. When I have that I don't want to do this feeling in the morning, the only way that I'm able to be like, it doesn't matter how I feel, is because I know that I have to become the highest version of myself, and I have to be operating on, you know, the highest frequency possible so that I can lift up and elevate others. And because if I'm not holding myself to the highest standard, if I'm not respecting myself at like the utmost, how am I going to hold others to the highest standard? And how are others going to respect me? It starts with me. It starts here. That's my framework. And if I would have listened to the noise, if I would have cared what other people who I will never speak to again in my life said, if I went through and was reading the comments on my YouTube of these lame-ass 40-year-old dudes who were like commenting shit, I don't care. You're like a number to me. The people that support me, dude, makes me so happy. I know every single one of y'all's names. Like, truly, like, I feel love for you guys. But the people that I'm just like, I've never commented some dumb shit on somebody's post because I'm just telling them, you're in my head. I can't stop thinking about you. I can't stop thinking about you. Like, what the? Stop caring what other people think. You have to. It's a must. It is a must. And if this is what you're struggling with, conquer it now. Here's a framework that you can use. Think about the person that you're going to become once you have followed your plan and reached your goals. And now think about using a veteran mindset. Think about how the people that are hating on you now, the people that are talking shit about you now, think about how you'd feel if they were talking shit to that person. It would fly off, because what you would know what they're saying doesn't matter. It's not relevant because you've accomplished that. Have that framework now. You have to become the person that it takes to get to where you want to go. You have to become that person first. It's like when people say, oh, if I had money, then I'd be able to manage my finances. No, dumbass. You're just going to be in an even worse situation. If you cannot manage what is little, you cannot manage what is great. If you're undisciplined now, you're not going to be disciplined if you have a Lamborghini and a big ass house and a hot girl and, you know, all these things. I was about to curse. But this framework is just, it's like, it's so stupid. I can't even think of a proper word to describe the framework of, well, you know, if I received what I wanted, then I would give the effort. That's a sad place to be. That is a sad fucking place to be. And if you're in that spot right now, you got some self-reflecting to do. Put your phone down, delete social media. Reflect, read, think about your situation, think about your actions. How does this positively affect me? How does this mental framework positively affect me? What am I doing to serve others during the day? What am I doing that is outside of just my animalistic desires during the day? What am I doing to move forward every single day? And if you're still worried about what people think about you, and that is hindering you from moving forward, forget about who you were and envision who you will become and work towards it every single day. And every time you listen to the noise or you feel the hate, become that person for a second. And it will restructure what anyone has to say. Because if you knew in your heart that no matter how many times you fail, you would get there, it would change everything. You wouldn't care that they're hating because you know eventually you would win. And as long as you never stop trying, you will win eventually. You cannot lose if you never quit. You cannot. And I have never, ever seen someone give 100% effort and fail. You might have small fails, or small losses, but if you have failed and completely given up, it's because you gave half-ass effort. And if you feel like, oh no, I was giving everything, no, you didn't. Because if you were giving everything truly, you would have made it there. Aggression Talk number 12. Thank you guys for watching. Truly love you guys. Like, subscribe, go check out the leg day video that I just posted, and jump over to my Instagram so you can follow along on the morning push-ups. As also, the Discord, link in the description. I've got a few hundred people signed up already, but the Discord's going to be free. That's also going to have a discount for my fitness app that's launching. Best fitness app that's ever going to launch. I'm getting it developed right now. It should be done February 1st, maybe late January. But the first 100 people from the Discord to sign up on the app are going to get like a 70% discount, just like to show my thanks and just to get you guys part of the community. It's going to be a huge community. We'll go live every single week. I'm giving away, business, like clothing that's like part of my business, Aggression Fitness. So, it's just going to be this big community of ballers and dogs who treat every day with aggression, and we train till failure, mentally and physically. We hold nothing back. We're constantly getting better and making each other better every single day. So if that sounds interesting to you, hit the link and just fill out your info for the Discord. I'll get you on my email list, and you'll be prioritized as soon as that Discord's created. It's going to be truly something crazy. And if you are looking to develop a bulletproof mindset, build unbreakable habits, build a Greek god physique, or just take your life to the next level, fill out the link for my one-on-one coaching. And if you are truly motivated and I have spots for the month left, then I'll shoot you an email and we can get on a call, and I can hear your story and learn a little about you and see if you're right, and see if we can work together towards taking you to the highest version of yourselves. I truly appreciate all the support you guys are giving me. It's truly given me an extra boost and an extra inspiration. I've wanted this for such a long time. I know I'm only seeing tiny little wins. I know 5,000 subscribers that I just hit. It's not a crazy amount, but I've wanted 1,000 for so long. So next goal is 10K, baby. I'm not gonna stop doing these. They're gonna be on Spotify soon, I promise. And as I always say, in a world full of pussies, stay aggressive.